big opponent at hand. This is a good team. I think when you watch their tape, what stands out is their play style more than anything, and it's all three phases. You turn on special teams tape, they're flying around. You turn on defense, they're physical and they're flying around, and then offensively, it's the same story. And so, a lot of credit to Coach Quinn. It's in his image, and we'll have our work cut out for us. So go ahead and open it up from there.
When you went back and looked at everything from the first 4 weeks, how do you evaluate where the offense is and where Caleb is?
Offensively, we're still a work in progress. Some things we're doing well, some things we're not. I think the inconsistent nature with which we're playing, we're shooting ourselves in the foot quite a bit. And when I look at where we were through the first 4 weeks, a lot of penalties. I want to say we were top 5 on offense there through 4 weeks. And so we're playing behind the sticks, and you can certainly feel that as I was calling it. I give the guys a lot of credit. I did feel like we were pretty good at getting back on track as much as we could, but it's just not sustainable when you're playing football that way. And so that's going to be an emphasis for us here going forward. We've got to get the pre-snap penalties under control, and they know that. The running game, I've kind of alluded to it over the course of training camp. It's going to take a little bit of time for our guys to all mesh together, and I think that's what the tape looks like right now. We're just not firing on all cylinders yet, and sometimes it could be the ball carrier not hitting the right spot. Other times it's just our combinations aren't clean yet, and it's going to take everybody. It's quarterback, it's receivers, it's O-line, it's tight ends to go along with those runners. So it's a very complex question, but the guys are playing hard. They're playing for each other. I think we're doing a good job of getting that kind of squared away, and I think good things will happen the more time we spend together.
In particular, when you look at the 4 games, was it the way it felt? I mean, did you have a feeling kind of going into the evaluation, okay, this is how I feel he's doing? And did it match that, or did anything jump out?
Yeah, I mean, some things as an offense we're doing better than others. I think drop back pass game right now, which once again that kind of goes in hand with the get back on track mentality. He's doing a good job there of finding guys, and our guys are getting open. They're being detailed with their route running, but like I said, the running game's struggling. The play action game's not quite where it needs to be off of that. That's typically where you get a lot of explosives or chunk plays. Our screen game leaves a lot to be desired, and so I don't think it's any one person right now. It's all of us coming together and getting this thing right. But I do think that Caleb has grown each and every week. He's getting more comfortable calling the plays in the offense, and I'm really excited about what the next, call it the second quarter of the season, is going to look like for him.
With the run games, is it a matter of just expecting that the guys you have will eventually break through, or is there a point where, knowing the trade deadline's a couple weeks away, that you think maybe we need to upgrade that spot?
Our guys are going to be fine. I've kind of, it's not always the runners. It's everybody, and it's the quarterback carrying out his fake. It's the receivers blocking down the field. It's the tight ends doing their job, and the same thing with the offensive line. I think there's a lot of times on that tape we're not giving our runners a chance. So I think we're fine there.
You obviously weren't here last year, Coach, but from the outside, there's a conversation about this game being a revenge game or an opportunity to exercise demons from last year. Some of your defensive guys still feel the sting of that last drive in Washington last year. You got the Caleb and Jaden comparison that's going to go on. Is that something you just completely push aside and try to get the guys to ignore, or is that something you acknowledge, maybe even lean into?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to talk to those guys about it. We're a new team, and we're just focused on winning this game this week.
Are there any IR players that will have their window open today?
We're looking to open up Booker and Homer today.
Anything new offensive line wise? Like, you know who your left tackle is going to be?
We have a good idea who our left tackle is.
Not ready to reveal that to us though.
With your run defense, you indicated last week that there were some things you saw in terms of shedding blocks. What specifically are you seeing that you're hoping can get fixed quickly in that regard?
It's a commitment to the fundamentals and the techniques, and so today is more of a bonus day for us. We're going to get the motor running again, coming off the bye week, and then tomorrow we're going to be in pads, and we're gonna look to get better in that regard. And it's both sides of the ball. We gotta do a better job blocking. We gotta get our pad level lower on offense, and then defensively, we have to violently shed those blockers. Our guys are gonna know what that looks like. They've done it at times. We just haven't done it at all three levels consistently enough.
What have you seen from the Commanders? Their run game obviously is very established right now. They're doing it very well. What have you seen in that regard, of what they do to change?
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, they do a phenomenal job, but you give Coach Kingsbury and, Anthony Lynn, their run game coordinator, a ton of credit. I mean, those guys are, there's something new every week schematically. They put a lot of stress on the defense, the combination of gap schemes with, they're pulling guards and tackles, and then you add in the quarterback run part of it, and it's a handful. And so you got to be very disciplined. You got to hold the line of scrimmage with our front, and they've. I mean, there's a reason why for 2 years now that they've been running all over people. So we got a tall task at hand.
What was the level of entry for Booker there in preseason before the knee injury?
Say it again.
What was your level of intrigue in Austin Booker? Young guy, scratching the surface, produces in preseason.
Yeah, no, he's another guy that I thought you felt the pass rush there, particularly in the game setting. Saw it in practice and the joint practices as well. So he was a guy that was able to affect the quarterback. That's something that we talked about as a unit here today. Points of emphasis, where can we improve? Obviously, it's the penalties, it's the run game, but affecting the quarterback, we're not doing a good enough job of it. And so that's really where I saw Booker making the biggest impact there in the preseason. So we'll have to see where he is now back on the practice field.
What have you seen out of Roma Dunze that's really unlocked him here in these first 4 weeks? It seems like his game has really exploded early in the season.
Yeah, he's a pro. He's a pro. He comes into the building and he looks to get after work. And, I think he's taken to that receiver room. Those guys really all mesh well together. It's the hard work mentality, yet I know he's had some production come his way that can kind of come in waves, if you will, and he started off hot here. Hopefully that'll continue to go, but I know he's just a guy that's committed to winning right now, and whatever it takes for us as an offense to score points and as a team to win ball games. And so I see him as a leader here on this team.
And
Ben, the question
the question that Herb asked you about the history with the Bears and the Commanders, Tyreek is front and center in that conversation. You've got a 3-season career for him, but what has your experience been just in the limited time you've had together?
Yeah, I think Tyreek's gotten better each game. He prior to the bye week, that was his best game against the Raiders to date that had been a part of, and I think he's doing a good job of just compartmentalizing everything and hitting the reset button going into each week. And I've said it before that those corners, they have to have short memories. There's sometimes you're left on an island for 12 plays and no action comes your way, and then all of a sudden something comes your way, and if it's a bad play, you got to be able to erase it, and if it's a good play, same thing, you got to turn on to the next one. And so I think he's done a nice job getting that mental toughness up to a point to where he can block out all that outside noise and continue to stay consistent with both his process on a weekly basis, but also within a game.
What's he shown you outside of Sundays? Intangible things like attentiveness, preparedness, things like that.
Yeah, it's for a young player. I've seen it improve. There's always still work to be done there, but I think Al Harris has done a nice job showing him what it means to be a pro in this league, and he's taken that to heart. The practice habits continue to improve, and I really believe that he's starting to turn the corner for us.
And with Ozzie Trapillo, and I know you told us that you expect Darnell to come back at some point, how do you evaluate what you're going to do with his role? Just knowing that he's not a left tackle right now, but you have a starting right tackle, and what he can do to still stay active on game day.
You're saying when Darnell comes back? Is that the question?
If it's this week, if it's beyond,
Yeah.
what do you do with Ozzie? Seems like he could be odd man out.
Yeah, we've got some really good tackles, and so that was the beauty of the vision that Ryan had, was bringing in a lot of really talented players and letting them battle out and see who wins what. And so whether that's a starting role or whether that's a backup role, we'll determine that when that time comes.
Is there a world where if Ozzie plays well, he could win that job?
Absolutely, he's a really good player. I think he's really settled in on that right side, and I'm really looking forward to all those tackles getting healthy and getting after it again.